Hello YouTube, and it's Mark King here, and this is an article by the Huffington Post. It's by Melsa Jensen, and the title of this article is It's Time. It's time for a revolution in at-home abortion. Virus pandemic has exposed the fiction that most abortions need to be performed in a clinic setting. The the Huffington Post is a ragtag publication. I don't know if it still is, but it was run by Ariana Huffington. I remember when I was doing journalism, one of the female professors kept bragging about Ariana Huffington. I couldn't figure out why, but years later, obviously, I figured it was a feminist thing. It's complete indoctrination in the school system. But anyway, let's see this trash article. Let's see how it's written. The callers wanted to know how to end pregnancies without going outside. Many were afraid to travel for fear of contracting the virus, which spread through contact with others. She didn't seem to have the financial resources, but she had the ability to open up. It's like, again, you need personal responsibility. So the way this works is, right. So without God in the way, right, the people want the government to judge their actions, essentially, right? This is why feminism is very dangerous, right? So women don't want responsibility. So something like abortion, for example, which should be considered a crime in a lot of people's eyes, including mine, they want the government to make it a non-criminal offense, right? So that means women have no responsibility. So, and religion usually guides people into moral thinking. People don't possess morals. At least that's what I see. Without guides, you need guides for morals. That's why, again, two-parent homes, a father and a mother, it works the best. They're both guides. Obviously, the better educated the parents are, the better off the kids would be. The better off kids would be mentally and physically. They'll be better off. So again, women don't want responsibility. It's something that's been beaten to death, but this is more proof. And the thinking is to basically wash away all quote unquote sin. They want the government to declare abortion right. That's just how they think. Women will deny all evidence as long as they are exonerated. That's it. So anyway, people are unable to leave their homes, yet they still need abortions because of social distancing. The idea of women attempting abortions conjure up painful history of when you use their coat hangers. However, it's not accurate representation of self-managed abortion looks like in 2020. Nowadays, it's safe because it's called a pill, and almost 40% of abortions are done via this method, which is approved use up to 10 weeks of pregnancy. Okay. These abortions take place in the privacy of one's homes, but due to the current federal regulations of malfeasance, don't yada yada yada. Unlike virtually every other medication, it can be dispensed at local pharmacy. Yes, they want them over the counter. That's the next push. Ultimately, the pandemic might expose the fact that current restrictions on the abortion aren't actually necessary at all. So again, never let a crisis go to waste. They don't know they're pushing certain propaganda. They don't understand what they're doing. It's that simple. So let's see. This is a unique opportunity to say what are the things that we're doing that are not grounded in medical evidence, that are actually limiting access to care, said Jamila Perret, an OBGYN and reproductive health advocate. It may be that we have an opportunity to demedicalize the way abortion care is provided in the country. Again, never let a crisis go to waste. And here's some stats. I like stats. A recent study in Texas, abortion access has eroded dramatically since 2012, found that almost 7% of patients seeking abortion try to end pregnancy on their own. That's about 3 times higher than national average. Most bought pills in Mexico. I like to see the data evidence of that. Anyway, um, so 2018, there's 18 websites. Just websites. It's nothing. Only 5 states have explicitly criminalized self-managed abortions. Good. Arizona, Delaware, Nevada, Oklahoma, South Carolina. That's what they should. Again, so again, this is going to lead to where people, it's going to start with females, where they're going to actually commit crimes and let's just say end end children, put it like that, right? And it's going to lead to court cases where women will get away with it because of abortion laws. When you have zero restrictions on abortion laws, that's where it's going to head. It always headed. It always takes the most preposterous turns. Things just always take the most preposterous turns, but always know that's where it's headed. And eventually, you will eventually see some men get away with it, but then obviously that's when they'll rein it in. But anyway, that's where we're headed. It's another one of those terrible articles by the Huffington Post, which is a terrible, terrible news media company, pushes a certain ideology that's just terrible and destructive and just anti-family, anti-male, anti-marriage, anti-happiness. That's what it really is. All this stuff is just it actually makes people unhappy. Alright, it's a pretty long article, but it's worth the read. I include in the description. It's nonsense, like I said, absolute nonsense, because read it for yourself. And you can share, say, subscribe, whatever you do it, but be safe. Take precautions out there. Bye.